My father just wasn't as sharp as he used to be. He seemed not to be part of our conversations. He was more forgetful. He seemed sometimes disoriented. He was repetitive. So was it depression? Was it normal aging? Was it hearing loss? Was it everything?
We see people from, young adulthood all the way into their 90s, but we do see a lot of people who are worried about their memory and are starting to experience some memory problems. So they come to us so that we can help clarify whether this is just normal aging or a little bit of stress, or is it something more serious and something that needs some treatment.
And months later, things weren't any different. In fact, they were worse. We were seeing those behaviors more frequently. So my mother called the doctor, and the family doctor had a discussion with them, and the word dementia came up.
Yeah, that's a tough time when you're trying to figure out what's going on and feeling very alone. And it's been really good for me to be able to have the Insight Memory Care Center as a place to refer people for that kind of support. It's a very comprehensive program, I've thought, that can provide the education and make people feel less alone, and then the people to interact with, to talk to, and then also all the resources you have for the professionals that they might need in their lives at that particular time.
And we went online and looked at the whole website, and we found your educational classes, and the one that popped up was the first class that was happening in the beginning of this year, and it was, is forgetfulness a problem? So we read the description, and the first thing it said, is it normal aging or is it dementia? So we continued to read, and then it talked about the differences of the different forms of dementia, and then it was also going to talk about when you need to get help.
What we always try to do is start from the beginning. As we have new caregivers hearing about Insight, we want to make sure that we are starting with that initial diagnosis, carrying them all the way through.
So my sister and I registered. We went to the class. It was excellent. It was in layman's terms. We were with other people who were at the same phase we were. And we walked out, we called our mom back in Pennsylvania and said, you need to schedule an appointment with a neurologist.
I would hope for people that they could find Insight early in the process, as early as possible, and then have that support all the way through.
But if it wasn't for here, I think we'd still be wondering what was the next step we needed to do once we received the diagnosis.
And our education classes are free for the public. You don't have to be enrolled in Insight to be able to attend one of the classes. You can attend all the classes, and some caregivers do. They just want that knowledge.
The educational programs are so helpful. They serve so many needs, not just in terms of providing like the latest cutting edge research or professionals in the field getting the opportunity to share their knowledge with people that it really affects. But it also just gets people together and gets them talking and asking questions, and so they feel more part of a community that's there for them, and it's just an amazing resource.
They have a community of people that they can turn to who are going through the same thing, that can really understand what they're going through.
Learn as much as you can. Become friends with the people who come here on a monthly basis. They do become your support group as well. We laugh, we cry, we talk about our wins and our losses, but most of all, we all comfort each other. But finding a place like Insight is the #1 thing you need to do.